preaching the word. Don't go out to camp and you scared. Put up my friends, get fly like a bird. We keep the commandments, don't know what you heard. Pull out some scripts like I'm a director. I stay with my sword, I'm ready whenever. It's the end of the world.
Show you something. Why it's so important that with that law that he just gave you. I'm gonna show you why it's important. You familiar with Moses? Let me ask you something. What's your nationality? African American. I used to think that too. Africa was named after a white man named Leo Scipios Africanus. America was named after a white man named Amerigo Vespucci. Do we descend from two white men? So I'm going to show you why it's important to know that. Go to Deuteronomy. You familiar with Moses? What did Moses do? He parted the Red Sea, but more importantly, he freed the children of Israel from Egypt, right? What were they doing in Egypt? They were slaves. That's why he had to tell Pharaoh, let my people go. Remember that?
Right.
So they were slaves. So watch this. This is what Moses told the children of Israel after they got through the Red Sea. Read that.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Moses told the children of Israel, if y'all don't keep God's commandment, curses is going to come upon y'all. Right. Is a curse a good or a bad thing? That's bad, right? That's right. But 46. Listen what he said about these curses that make them so specific.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee.
He said, and these curses are going to be upon y'all
for a sign.
What does a sign do, Sister Angie? What does a sign do? It gives you warning. It shows you something, right? So Moses said these curses was going to be on the Israelites for a sign. Read.
And for a wonder.
Uh-huh.
And upon thy seed forever.
And upon your seed. What is your seed? Your children. For how long?
Forever.
He said forever. Forever still going on right now, right? So in other words, we can be able to read these curses and figure out who the children of Israel are today, right? Because there's people over there in Israel right now that saying they the Jews, right? But and they bombing them people in Gaza and all of that war that's going on over there. Right. But watch this. Listen what Moses told the Israelites, and let's see who these curses fit. Verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Moses told the Israelites, wherever y'all go, y'all gonna be cursed in the city. Sis, remember it said it was gonna be forever. So today, when you go to any city in America and you go to the cursed parts, meaning the hood, the ghetto, the poverty-stricken areas, what race of people predominantly live there? And who else? Blacks and Hispanics, right? But mind you, Moses was talking to the Israelites. Watch this, read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And he said, cursed are you going to be in the field. Sis, who picked cotton for over 500 years for free? Look, sis, guess what? It happened to the Hispanics and Native Americans too. In 1492, when Christopher Columbus came over here, he enslaved the Native Americans and the so-called Mexicans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, again, that happened to the so-called blacks and Hispanics, right? And the Native Americans. Watch this, verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
He said your sons and daughters going to be given to another race of people. And when did that happen? It happened in slavery, right? I'm going to show you how we know for a fact this is talking about slavery. Right. Read on.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
He said you just going to be crying all day when this happened. You remember that movie Roots? When they took Kizzy's daughter, what she do all day? Cried all day. What you think our foremothers was doing when they was doing this to our people? Watch this though, read on.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
He said, and it ain't gonna be nothing you can do about it. So that's talking about slavery, right? You know what I'm saying? Who did that happen to, sis? And but mind you, keep it in mind, Moses is talking to who? The children of Israel, right? The Israelites. Read verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
He said, y'all don't want to keep God's commandments, y'all gonna have to serve your enemies.
Right.
Read.
which the Lord shall send against thee. In hunger.
Sis, when we want food, where do we get it from? Who do we get it from? Who do we get it from, sis?
Wow.
Who do we get it from, sis? Come on with me. Walk with me, sis. Who we get it from? What race of people? Because Moses is... Right. But who did God call him in this? Who did Moses call him in this verse? Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
He said your enemies. You're going to have to get your food from. Read.
And in thirst.
In thirst, when you want water, who we pay our water bill to? You see that? Look, sis, rain fall out the sky for free. They'll give you a ticket for collecting rainwater.
Bring it out.
You know what I'm saying? Watch this. Read on.
And in nakedness.
When we want clothes, who we get our clothes from? Look at this young brother walking there with that nice Nike hoodie on. Who owns Nike?
What's your name? Zach.
Huh?
It's Zach.
Zach, look, what we over here showing our sister right now, she following along with me. Moses told the Israelites, if y'all don't keep the commandments, curses is going to come up on y'all. And one of the curses that we read right now is we got to go to our enemies for clothing.
Right.
Who do we go to for our clothing?
Our enemy.
Who is it?
The devil.
What, huh?
God.
The so-called white man.
That's
Who
right.
owns Nike? You know what I'm saying? Who owns Gucci,
Bring it
Louis?
out.
All this stuff you youngsters out here killing each other for. Who owns it? Watch this. Read on.
And in want of all things.
He said, in want of all things. Everything you want, you're going to have to go to them for.
Bring it
you
out.
want an education.
Right.
You want a driver's license.
Right.
You want a new car.
Right.
You want religion.
Right.
You got to go to them for it. Look at this right here. Check this out. Look, since what church did you grow up in? Church of Christ? That was an extension from the Baptist, right?
Bring it out.
That's what it was. But look, sis, the Baptist church was started in 1608 by a white man named John Smith.
Wake him up.
Where was our people at in 1608? Slavery. So think about that, sis. The only reason that grandma was a Baptist is because master was a Baptist.
Bring it out.
You know what I'm saying? The same reason why the so-called Mexicans, most of them are Catholics, right? When Christopher Columbus came over here, this is what he did, sis. He put them in slavery, and who else did he bring with him? He bought Jesuit priests.
Bring it out.
And he told them, this is your Jesus now.
Right.
You worship this or you gonna die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what do? They worship this. Why? How do we know? Because the majority of them are Catholics to this day.
Right.
You see that? Now watch this, sis. Get verse 64. Watch this, read.
Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
He said the Lord gonna scatter you among all people. Sis, that happened. It's called the transatlantic slave trade. We were scattered all over the earth. They went to the west coast of Africa and they brought us to America, South America, you know what I'm saying, all throughout the islands, all throughout Europe. Where you from, my brother?
South Sudan.
South Sudan, you know what I'm saying? Look, you ever heard of the sub-Saharan slave trade? That was when the Arabs took our people slavery, right? Tell me, to this day, a lot of your people are either Muslim or they Christians. Am I correct? That's through slavery. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Bible is telling us right now. Watch this right quick. Come on back, sis. I got one more scripture for you. Watch this. Read 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Look, sis. Moses telling the Israelites, the Lord gonna bring y'all into Egypt again. Remember, they just left Egypt. They walked through the Red Sea, right? So now he's telling them, the Lord gonna bring y'all back into Egypt. What did we say they were doing in Egypt the first time? Why did Moses say, Pharaoh, let my people go? They were slaves. Right. So now, when Moses told them the Lord gonna bring y'all back into Egypt again, what's the first thing you think hit their mind? We're gonna go back into what? Slavery. Slavery is actually a Greek word that means bondage, because the name of that land in biblical time was called Mizraim, the son of Ham. You see what I'm saying? So watch this. Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into slavery again. How?
With ships.
How did our ancestors get to America? Huh? What kind of boats? I know, but what were they called? What was this? What kind of boat was that? Was that a luxury cruise yacht, or was that a slave ship?
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we got to America. That's how we got to Cuba, Haiti, Santo Domingo, South America. That's how we got scattered all over the earth on cargo slave ships.
Right.
This is what Moses told the Israelites. Read it from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again,
Into slavery again.
with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
He said, you ain't gonna see the land no more again. Not the physical Egypt over there. You going to a new Egypt, a new form of slavery. And listen what he said about that slavery.
And there
He said, and there, when y'all get off them slave ships, read.
ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
What was the first thing they did when they took us off them ships, sis? They sold us, right? Read.
For bondmen and bondwomen,
For slave men and slave women.
and no man shall buy you.
And he says, no man shall buy you. The word buy means to save or redeem. You know what I'm saying? Like, we used to be able to buy our freedom. Remember that in slavery? You used to be able to buy your freedom. But now Moses saying nobody's going to buy you. You're not going to be able to save yourself. So now I'm going to ask y'all a question. Moses told the Israelites this was going to happen to them in history, right? In the Bible. Now, sis, bro, what we just read, who did that actually happen to for real? Us, right? So if Moses said that was going to happen to the children of Israel, and we are the people that it happened to, who must we be then? We are the children of Israel, sis.
That's right.
That's what they ain't teaching us in these churches. That's why our kids out here killing each other, because we have no identity. Do you think, sis, if we were taught from babies that we the people of this book, all the laws that in this book is supposed to be how we supposed to be living? Jesus Christ is a black man from the tribe of Judah.
Right.
Guess what tribe you come from, sis? Judah.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word